He pulled out the clean and jerk gold in the Europeans there.
With a 185, I believe.
What sort of mood's he in today, I wonder? Here we go. Warming up.
Yep, 100 kilos on the bar. A red and a yellow. Red's 25, yellow's 15, bar 20 kilos. It's posted to start on 180, so just hoisting up a little over 15 stone there.
When Michaela was with us this afternoon, she was saying she actually quite enjoyed there were a couple of things she said really quite, warm-up room was small, but she really enjoyed it. It was a good atmosphere in there. And she also made the point, David, that she really enjoyed lifting on this stage. She liked being close to the audience, close to the spectators. You know, there was a real sense of being involved. So often, you know, at major championships, you know, the stage seems a million miles away from the people, and there's a sort of divorce between the two. But she said it was great, you know, it was really, really good atmosphere, and it helps.
So, Romanian, 150 kilos on the bar. He's down to start with 170. So he's coming close to the end of his warm-up, because he'll be the first man out, if my calculations are correct. Remember, in weightlifting, the people lifting the lightest weights come out first. The people lifting the heaviest weights come out towards the end. So 150 kilos for him. I would think, well, we've got a minute and 10 before the competition starts. So I would think that he would want another warm-up, possibly with 160 kilos. And then he'll need some time to just take a short break before attempting his opener of 170 kilos.
Yeah, just looking at the other arguably more interesting weights. I mean, you've got Mirzaev in 2.5 kilos of deficit to Boevsky on 182.5. Boevsky posting 185 as his opening clean and jerk. And the Turk, the well-muscled Turk, Efren Yelil, 180. But even if he's doing that, he's got an awful long way to catch up.
Yes, he's finished on 140 snatch, so he's way behind.
17.5 kilos off the pace.
So right on that far platform, 160 kilos, the last warm-up for the Romanian. This competition due to start in 5 seconds. Now we've got a good look at the board, and he's now increased to 172.5, which explains why he was taking that 160 so late. So that now means that the youngster from Azerbaijan is going to be coming in on 170 kilos. Remember, had 3 successful snatches with 132.5, 137.5 and 140, beating his own personal best by 7.5 kilos. So this must be a personal best on the total. This will give him 310. I believe he had a best of 300.
He was looking for 300. The other thing, David, that's I think it's worth emphasising, that between third, that's Smolka, and Keshkes in 7th place, there's only 5 kilos. So it's really, really tight.
So 170, this must be a new personal best for the youngster. And if he could run through 6 lifts here, that would be a good confidence booster for him.
Well, I've just checked, David, that actually equals his PB. So on the evidence of what we've just seen there, a new PB should be coming very shortly.
Equals his PB on the clean and jerk, or the...
He had 100 overall. Well, he had 132.5, which he's raised considerably to 140.
So if his best is 170 on the clean and jerk,
that's 310. So he's
equalled his best. So he's beaten his best on the snatch already, and he's already equalled
10 kilos up.
Oh, he's 10 kilos up.
Yes,
on his total. So that's a nice start for him.
Now Smolka already with a bronze medal to collect at the end of the evening.
So clock ticking away, 27 seconds. And the bar at 172.5 for the Polish lifter. Already has a bronze medal in the snatch.
Yeah, but the time's ticking away here. They lost a bit of concentration with all that chatting backwards and forwards. Hope that hasn't lost him the chance here. Not the easiest of cleans. Now, can he drive this over his head? Needs to stand still, feet are in line. Yes, but relief.
Yes, so not quite as proficient in the clean and jerk, but leading for now.
Yes, he's got the total. Remember, this is, in a sense, a comeback competition for him. We haven't seen him for a long while, so he'd have wanted to make sure that he gets the total.
So the bar stays on 172.5 this time for Maxignano, the Romanian.
Locksmith by trade. Now, this is also getting pretty close to his limit. He's only a couple of kilos short of his PB.
Good clean. Well, he looks nice and solid in this move. So that puts him on 317.5.
Yeah, it was just that very first snatch where he didn't really look all together. But after he got the second one in, he sort of, woke up. The engine was started, and he was.
So now the bar now be loading all the red weights on, meaning that we're now at 175 kilos.
Remembering that these men are weighing 69 kilos or slightly under. So Zalilis, originally from Albania, but for most of his life his home has been here in Athens, or near to where we are, shall we say.
So some last minute words there from the coach.
He's been in this sport now for 20 years. He's been on the Greek team since 1991. That's a major commitment.
Yes, has done 190, I believe.
Correct.
So well within himself on 175, but as we've already seen, not at his best.
Now this is where Yakovu goes to work, David. We've seen him all through this week, and more often than not, he gets a problem. Now he's got a problem. Now he's got to sort it out. And I would, I'd put a few euros on the fact that when Zalilis comes out the next time, he'll get it.
Well, I think I'd agree with that. So now Zoltan.
Yeah, Keskes down in 7th place, of course. 2 failures at 150, very costly. That 150, if he'd got either of those 2 snatch efforts, he would have been, in the action. As it is now, he's, coming from a fair way off. But a bronze medal overall is still within his grasp. But it's one of those occasions where he's really got to just focus on what he's doing and not worry about everybody else. He can't control what they do, but he can control what he does.
Nice and solid. Well, that's a good solid start for him. confident. Puts him on 320. And puts him into second place for now, anyway.
Yeah, behind Smolka, who had a 5 kilo advantage over him. Now it's only 2.5 kilos. And of the two, the Pole and the Hungarian, well, now the Hungarian looks a lot more convincing in this second half of the competition.
As you say, it's a shame he just couldn't have held on to that snatch of 150. So the youngster now going for a personal best on the clean and jerk, and of course it'll be a huge personal best on his total by 15 kilos. So young and improving.
Azerbaijan actually a candidate for a future European Championship. They sent the official letter in to host the championship in Baku, although maybe that wouldn't be the most secure place in the world to visit at the moment, being virtually up the road from Baghdad.
So, a failure, but he's got another go.
It is very interesting, the emergence of certain countries. Romania seem to be, you know, getting their act together. We've seen with the French, Samson last night, and with the women's squad, you know, not at the moment being able to really contend for medals, but, you know,
on the borderline.
Yeah, improving. I mean, Samson last night, brilliant. Very well done to finish 4th overall. That was excellent. Smolka now.
Yes, really had to work hard for that opener of 172.5.
Well, this would restore his 5 kilo advantage over the Hungarian Keskes, but can he do it?
Well, clean was good.
Much better. But he looked close to the limit on the first one, David.
So he also has got another chance.
Yeah, Bayramov, I think, will be out in a moment to the 20-year-old Azerbaijani to take that third and final attempt. And of course, still Khalil, Matveev, Boevsky, Murzaev, all to begin day 3 of these European Championships here in Loutraki. The 82nd edition of the men's European Championships, and by far the oldest of the championships in all of the continents.
That's better now. Just caught it right and drove through. That's good.
He's got to get that. That's a terrific effort. Well done to him. So 175 kilos, 315 total, and he was looking for 300, David, and well, he's as far as I'm concerned, he's excelled himself this evening.
That's right, surpassed all expectations. Only had one failure, managed 5 out of 6. So another stepping stone for him.
Yeah, so in 2 rather different ways, 2 men from Azerbaijan doing very well. Murzaev and this man, or that man, Bayramov. But Murzaev, to be fair, he's not that much older. He's only 24. Now Smolka, this is important. He's going to lose his position here.
Yes, did that good snatch of 150 kilos for that bronze medal. But he's got to fight for every kilo now on the clean and jerk, just to kind of hope that the combination of the two will be enough to perhaps take a medal on the overall.
Well, it's that 5 kilo advantage that he's got over a lot of his opponents that is vulnerable. If he could make it 7.5, that would just give him a better chance of a higher finish. Gets the clean, but that wasn't the problem. This is the problem.
So, leaves him on 322.5.
And his destiny is in the hands of others.
Yes, he's in first place at the moment, but of course there's still lots of men left in this competition that could overtake him.
Yeah, there's 17 lifts to go, so he will be pushed down the order inevitably.
A quick look at the board there. Turk coming in at 180. Matveyev still coming in at 180.
Yeah, and Mirzaev at 100. Mirzaev, just checking on Mirzaev, 182.5. So that he's looking to catch up the deficit in his first clean and jerk. Oh no, he's not, because Boevsky's at 185. My apologies.
So now the Romanian is coming in on his second at 177.5, and he's lighter than the pole. So if he succeeds with this, he will go ahead of the pole on the total by virtue of his lighter body weight.
He's got another go.
So, bar stays at 177.5, and I'm sure by the noise in the auditorium, you can guess who's coming out next.
Now, what must have been 5 minutes ago when he failed 175, I said, Yakovu will turn this round. We're about to find out whether the master has managed to get the message across to the pupil.
Well, he's the lightest man in this class, so a success at this will put him into the lead, for now anyway, by virtue of lighter body weight. This will put him on 322.5. Oh, well. We've got all kinds of problems now.
Well, he's got the crowd on his side.
Well below his best. Should really be able to put this one away. But of course, he's under real pressure now. He's failed twice. And at the moment, he's got to follow himself. It's very difficult to follow yourself. He's just put a supreme effort in. 2 minutes on the board to recover from that effort and go again. So the question is, what's he going to do? Is he going to take the same again, or is he going to buy some time by increasing to 180?
Well, he and only he with Yakovu can make that decision. I think he's going to go again. It's a question whether Yakovu can actually turn this around. He's got to actually achieve the clean with the minimum of effort and leave himself with the leg strength that he needs to drive that bar above his head.
Yeah. Looks as if he's going to come out again on 177.5.
He's got 1 minute and 15 seconds at the moment, so at the moment it's not a worry, it's just the recovery. And there's the little Polish trio of coaches just...
Well, they're watching because at the moment their man's still leading.
Well, it's like milk bottles being knocked off a wall as far as they're concerned. But I think they're living in hope, and I don't think that hope is going to be rewarded. I think they've got the reward, the Poles, with that bronze medal from the snatch. And even if Zalidis doesn't succeed with this, David, there are others who I think will surpass Smolka.
So a man under real pressure now.
Well, the noise is absolutely deafening.
So last attempt.
Just
home
imagine
crowd.
I was going to say, just imagine what it's going to be like on Saturday with Kakashvilis, triple Olympic champion in action.
No, he needs to settle. He needs to settle. No, it's not there.
He just doesn't have the strength.
Not happening today. But the crowd are still with him.
Well, the other thing about coming to Greece, David, is that this is one of the very few places that you can visit where you don't have to explain the rules or the sport or the stars. I mean, the audience know this game. This is an important sport in this country.
That's right.
I think what also I think has been great about the Greek team is that when they finish the competition, they don't run away and hide. They all come back in. They talk to the press. They're walking around. They're very accessible, and of course that creates a great relationship with the sport and the public. People are very friendly to it. They can actually reach out and touch it, and I think that's really nice. I mean, so many sports, the sportsmen and women are protected and separated, and there is no feeling between. But that's not the case here. I think the Greeks do it very well. Now,
the fact that Pyrrhus Demas was Greek Sports Personality of the Year.
How many times?
Says something.
Khalil for Turkey. First attempt, 180 on the bar.
Yes, much more suited to this lift. The lift that takes real strength. And that's a good start for him.
And of course he was down at 140, but that takes him up to 320.
But the pole, though, still in pole position. That's not funny.
68.51, so he goes ahead of Keshkes by virtue of lighter body weight, and both of them, Keshkes and Khalil, of course, with 2 lifts to come. Matveev of Russia yet to start, Boevsky, of course, yet to start, and Mirzaev of Azerbaijan, he's also got 3 to come. So now Matveev. Clean and jerk gold in Riza in 1998. He's got to be producing something like that.
Well, this would actually put him into the lead now, but still 2 men to start.
Yeah, this would take him to 325. But more often than not, David, we've seen him fail the first one, and then the whole of his ambition has been limited. So he really needs to get this one.
Well, he's usually very strong in the first phase, but then, well, when it comes to the jerk, it's anyone's guess. Well, as I said, he's good in the first phase, but not consistent. So the pole remains in first place.
Well, it's that crucial advantage, that 150, where he had 5 kilos over his closest opponents and a 10-kilo advantage over Khalil, and that's still just keeping him there. But for how much longer? Well, it just underlines, David, you don't have to have records all the time. What you really need is a good competitive fight with good tactics, and the coaches aware, and the chess game moving around in the back room to onto the stage and then back again.
Well, this man originally had 182.5 posted, so perhaps he's just sat back and realised that 180 will get him his second place, and then he's got a couple of attempts to sort of fight it out with Boevsky.
Well, if that's, I mean, the other reason is that his warm-up might not have gone quite as well as planned, but we're about to find out. Mirzaev, silver medalist, and 2.5 kilos behind Boevsky at the halfway stage. 10 seconds, needs to get moving. 9, 8,
comfortable. I think he does a push press. Oh. Well, this is going to be a tight competition between him and Borewski. I mean, I don't think it was because his warm-up went bad. I think he just thought, let's just get one on the board, take the pressure off, go into the lead, which he has done now. And
well, that is good, sensible management between athlete and coach, and that's largely down to the coaches also reading the situation and bringing it to his attention and agreeing on what they're going to do. And the reward is, as you say, he's got 3:35 and he's now 12.5 kilos ahead of Smolka and 15 ahead of Yelil, and Keshkes is also 15 behind, so they're left playing for the bronze medal now. Now here's Keshkes, 180, so this is a 5 kilo increase to take him to 325.
Right, so this would put him into second place on the overall. Remember, though, he was the heaviest man in the competition, and this of course would knock the pole now down into third. So it looked good on his first, technically proficient, looked strong. But he's had quite a long break between his first and his second attempt, so you'll have had to go back in, do a few more lifts and just keep focused. So, cleans well now.
Oh, nice and strong.
Stand still, which he does.
325 it is, silver medal position. Smolka's down to bronze. Clinging on by his fingernails now, Smolka.
So, the bar must stay at 180 because, of course, Matveev failed with his first, so I'm guessing that he'll be repeating.
Well, he might. Well, he is going to come in for 180, although I have known him decide to put the bar up and go for something higher, but that wouldn't be very intelligent at this stage.
No, this would put him into second place on the overall at the moment, and almost, I say almost, guarantee him a bronze in the overall.
So 330 if he can do it. 330 will put Keshkes down to third and Smolka off the overall medal podium.
No, 325. Remember, he failed with that 150 snatch.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
Can't quite see it from.
Yeah, 325. So.
But the position is the same.
Yeah, because of the body weight.
Yeah. So again, cleans well. Always cleans well. Now, come on, focus. No, bad positioning. So he's now left into the same position as the Greek. Valides.
How many times though have we seen Matveev in that sort of position?
Yes, he needs to understand his weakness, which is the second phase of the clean and jerk, and when he goes back to training, spend more time on that particular part of the movement.
Maximiano Luciano from Romania, third attempt.
So now this is going to be a 7.5 kilo increase for Maximiano of Romania, which will take him to 325. His body weight is 68.61, so this is for second place.
Second place at the moment, yeah. So he could just sneak back in there with this lift. Of course, if he fouls, he'll be nowhere. I think he's capable of it. The 177 was pretty close. It was more technique than strength, so if he gets it right, puts it together, it could happen.
I'd be surprised.
Oh no,
it's
he's getting dizzy. Well, he's recomposed himself, but it's always hard to come back now. You see the legs go there, weight across the windpipe, and he's still suffering slightly. Yeah, once it goes, it's virtually impossible to get that back, and still feeling it a bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody was in there just to, you know, make sure he was okay. But you can see that when he gets it up there and puts it on the shoulders, as he adjusts back, it goes really close to the windpipe.
So Matveev now, pressure really on. Snatched 145, failed it with it on his first attempt, then succeeded, then missed 150. He's now in the situation where he's missed 180 twice. So if he fails with this lift, he'll be out of the competition with nothing.
So this is to avoid bombing.
So this to make a total.
180 on the shoulders.
Again, cleans with ease. Now he's got to concentrate, got to fight that weight overhead, which he does.
But why on earth can he not do it on the first attempt and then set himself up? But it's 325, his body weight's 68.75, so he now goes into second place ahead of Keshkes, and Smolka is now out of the overall medals.
So Keshkes, I would guess, is going to come in at 182.5. The board says that it's the Turk next, but I think if I was coaching him, I'd be putting him in at, well, the Turk's coming out on 182.5.
Well, maybe they've learned something, because here's another man who, on occasions, has been a little bit over-ambitious, and it's so tight in there for that bronze medal that caution may be...
But this doesn't really do much for him. Well, I guess it puts him in third place on the overall at the moment.
Well, no.
And puts him into first place on the clean and jerk.
Yes, but, I mean, it's only going to take him to 322.5, but he's got one more lift. He may then wait and see. Feet are not in line. They are now.
So the bar now must go to 100 and, well, it's going to 185.
Well, Yelil now, it's his decision. He can wait and see what he's going to go for. I mean, he's got 68.51, which is a body weight advantage over Keshkes. It's a body weight advantage over Matveev.
So the bar now is going to go to 185. Now remember, this is going to be Buevski's first attempt. Remember what happened at the World Championships. Buevski came in at 187.5 and failed miserably 3 times. So this to put him straight into the lead with a total of 342.5 kilos. So this to put the pressure back onto Mirzaev. Oh, looks better today. Well, that's more like the Buevski that we know.
Very strong.
Yes, technique looking good, weight looking no problem at all, and certainly at the World Championships he was a shadow of himself, wasn't he? 187.5 just looked so heavy, but this moving well, no problems in any part of the lift, standing up there with ease, then steadying himself and back. There it is, perfect positioning, and pressure certainly on.
Well, the question now is what Mirzaev can do about this. I mean, 185, he's got a 7.5 kilo deficit at the moment. Okay, he's got the lighter body weight. So now what he's trying to do with this lift is to reduce it to 2.5 kilo deficit.
And go into the lead on the clean and jerk, I guess, by virtue of lighter body weight.
Yeah, but remember, you know, Buevski looked good, and you wouldn't bet against him being able to lift a little bit more. But on the other hand, you know, Mirzaev trying to just stay close, and then, you know, might only take an extra 2.5 kilos and say, all right, I'll be equal with you on body weight, and then we'll see whether you can lift it or not. But before all of that, he's got to do this. Ten seconds.
Well, he looks good. So the push press. There it is. So he takes the lead on the clean and jerk, but is still 2.5 kilos short of the 342 that Borewski's done. So it'll be interesting to see what he... I mean, in a way, he's almost got nothing to lose. I mean, I suppose it depends what his aspirations are. Does he want to try and win the overall, or is he going to go just 2.5 to just try and win the clean and jerk?
Well, I think both options are open at the moment. It's a question of where does the bar go now? You've got Keshkes has got to come out now and take this 185 kilo lift. Now, of course, that 185 kilos would lift him up to 330, which would then put him into bronze medal position. But of course, Khalil is lurking as well, and what Khalil's waiting to do is to see whether Keshkes gets this, because if Keshkes doesn't get this, then Khalil will be ready to attack Matveyev's 325. All he's got to do is to take the extra 2.5 kilos, because he'd be up into overall third on body weight. So Khalil
exactly right.
Actually playing a very, very clever game at the moment.
Well, this man's looked good so far, but this is a big weight. Needs to stop. Well, look at the leg power. Stands and jerks it. Now needs to stand still, which he does. Well, is that good enough?
Did they tell him to put it down?
Is that good enough?
No.
Well, that's, I don't know. Maybe that's slightly unfair. Don't know. Thought he stood still there. Well, he did everything possible. I mean, that was a great attempt.
I've seen lifters get that sort of lift before now.
It's a shame. I mean, didn't catch it right, but had the legs to stand up. And look, it's a great jerk. Now, does he get his feet in line and stand still? Well,
hang on. I think, you see, that doesn't show it, but I think there was a moment when...
There was a second where he stood still, but anyway, it's history now. So, as you said, Salil now knows that this lift
is for bronze.
It's for the bronze overall. And of course, the other significant thing about this lift, because he's lighter than other competitors, he will actually go into the lead on the clean and jerk. But of course, the other two men, Borewski has 2, and
Moiseev has got 1. Good clean. He's very, very strong. Now, when you think, David, that this man was down at 140 after the snatch, if he could find an extra 5 or 7 or 10 kilos, and that zooms Khalil up to 325 kilos by virtue of body weight, pushes Matveyev out of the medals, and as you said, David, also now leads the clean and jerk. He's guaranteed at least the bronze medal in the clean and jerk. So 3 lifts to go. Good competition.
So the bar goes to 190, which means that Borewski will be the next man out. Moiseev is also going to go to 190.
Well, I think Moiseev's going to do a little bit of what Khalil was doing.
Well, this is the I mean, to my mind, Borewski gets this lift and it's all over.
So a lot of appreciation for one of the great lifters. I mean, he is terrific. I mean, he is a
He's a real athlete. I mean, the people at home will probably be expecting to see some hugely muscled guy, and instead they've got this athletic, fairly average-looking guy who's about to attempt a clean and jerk of 420 pounds. Remember, weighs 69 kilos, under 11 stone. This is the Boevski that we know now. Well, there it is. There it is.
The world clean and jerk record holder is back to something like his very best. Actually, his record's 196.5. We're not going to see that tonight, but what we are seeing...
Well, you never know. You never know. He's got one lift left. If this is enough, I mean, if you think about it, if Rozayev fails with this 190, it means, well, he's gone 192.5, but it means that Boevski can kind of sit back and have a go.
So now he's putting 192.5, which is a 7.5 kilo increase. So what he's trying to do now is
he's trying to make up that 2.5 kilo gap on the total.
Exactly.
And go into the lead by virtue of lighter body weight and put the pressure right back on Boevski. I think this is asking a lot, but why not? He's guaranteed the silver medal. Why not?
I'll tell you what, they've had the tactics absolutely clear in their minds right the way through. Just an email in from Kostya. Kostya asking about the European Championships in the Ukraine. The answer is yes, Kostya, we will be broadcasting it with NTU, our host broadcaster. In fact, we've got some colleagues from Kiev down here with us, and we will be broadcasting the whole of the championships live from the Palace of Sport, so come along and see us. Now,
right, come on. 192.5 kilos. Great competition we've had so far. And if this man succeeds with this weight, it's still not over. Boevski will still have to come out and lift this weight.
Well, this is a 10 kilo personal best if he does it.
4 seconds on the clock.
Drives it up.
Well, I'm impressed with the fact that he even cleaned that. Well, tried hard. So the question is, David, what's going to happen? Is Boevski going to leave it, or is he going to go for a world record?
I got a feeling he's going to leave it.
Well, I don't know. He wants to prove something after that failure. I know he's won the Europeans, but after that failure at the Worlds, I think he's hungry to prove something. Now, is he going to give us a world record or not?
Well, he's got 347.5 kilos, which is exactly the weight that Zhang Guozhang of China achieved at the World Championships.
197.
A world record.
Now, I expected that because I knew how annoyed Boevski was. I was speaking to the American Bud Carnegie, who's a good friend of Boevski's, and he told me that Boevski was so disgusted after his performance at the World Championships that he threw away the leotard, threw away the boots, threw away the belt. He didn't want anything to remind him of that championship. He just wanted to put it behind him, and this would be a fantastic way to come back. And of course, this is what tells a true champion, somebody who fails, you know, realizes that they failed, goes back into the gym, and then comes back and becomes a champion again.
Well, in no shape or form has he ducked the issue. One has to say, though, David, you know, Mirzaev, 5 out of 6, new personal best marks, 340, securing that silver medal. He's done extremely well. And Khalil of Turkey getting the overall bronze. But it's Boevski who is European champion again, because he won the title last year with a total of 350 kilos when he snatched 160 and clean and jerked 190. Well, every lift that Galabin has taken this evening, David, he's looked better. You remember that first snatch right at the beginning of the evening?
But this is big. This is a world record. 197 kilos. Remember, this man is under 11 stone. Imagine seeing him out. He doesn't, you know, he's got a shirt on, trousers, suit. He looks nothing. Nobody would ever believe that a man with that much muscle, or that little muscle, could produce so much power. That bar, 197 kilos, that's 435 pounds. That's 30 stone. So, now let's have a bit of hush in the audience for this attempt.
Well, this will be the world record of the championships if he picks it up.
He's looked good so far, but this is big. Needs to stand, needs to...
No.
Well, just too much.
But all credit to him for giving it a go. And it's been another great evening in Loutraki. I must say, David, these championships have been arguably the best Europeans we've been at, because they've been really competitive. I know Halil Mutlu was in the end out on his own last night, but particularly in the women's division, there have been so many twists and turns, and in the men's competitions that we've seen so far, it's been really enjoyable.
Well, tonight, for my money, tonight was great. I mean, it was, you know, it was a fight right till the end, wasn't it?
And all credit to Turan Mozaev of Azerbaijan for making it a really good competition. So Bulgaria retain the men's 69 kilo championship. Mozaev, an excellent silver medal, and if you look through his career achievements, this is by far the most important achievement that Mozaev can look back on. That's for sure. He was a bronze medalist in the Europeans 2 years ago when Khalil was the champion ahead of Matveev, but this is the best so far. Worthy silver medalist, and you know, 340, he's 15 kilos ahead of Khalil, who through some really clever tactics hauled himself up from, you know, way down 10 kilos behind Smolka at the halfway stage. Just to reflect on Khalil, it was 17.5 kilos behind at the halfway stage. And it just underlines that if he could actually improve his snatch performance, he would give himself a much better chance.
It's interesting to note the contrast between those two athletes. You know, the Turk, massively muscled. I mean, if you put him and Boevsky together and you didn't know anything about weightlifting, which one would you bet your money on?
Exactly, good point. So Boevsky, Mozaev, Khalil, Matveev finishes in 4th place, Keskes of Hungary 5th, Smolka overall in 6th place ahead of Maxiananu of Romania. Then Bayramov, who's done really well, as you see the final stats on the screen there. That's a good result, David. Look down there, 8th place, Bayramov, the younger of the two Azerbaijanis. That's
an ever improving. Good effort, personal best, slowly and steadily moving up the field.
And poor old Giorgio Serdidis, no total, but I think we'll see a better performance from him at the Worlds in Vancouver.